Hey guys, so I'm Robbie from the PPC team, and I'm going to be talking about the threats and opportunities posed by the rise of no-click search results. But first, just to give a little bit of context, one of the findings from our annual KPI study was that Google still very much makes the World Wide Web go round when it comes to the traffic proportions that it sends to websites. And nowhere was this more prominent than in the travel industry. And I'll explain in a little moment why we're looking at the travel industry in particular. So what we see that almost 2/3 of all traffic to travel-related websites was coming from Google between organic and paid search. However, when we looked at those stats from a year-on-year perspective, what we found was that the proportion of organic traffic had actually declined year-on-year, which was a little unusual. So we set about finding out why that occurred. And one of the main factors behind this was due to the rise of no-click search results. What are no-click search results? So the example on screen is something that we probably will all be familiar with. We search for what is the weather in Dublin, and Google is actually answering that question for us. So this actually represents a fundamental shift from Google's way of operating. Previously, they would give a list of relevant websites that could all answer that query, what's the weather in Dublin, whereas now they're actually going to the liberty of telling you within the search engine results page and without you needing to make a click that it's bleeding roasting. And obviously in Wolfgang, we're in the business of e-commerce and lead generation, so this type of thing isn't the biggest concern in the world. As you can see, this is a no-click informational search, but it was always inevitable that Google was going to start rolling out this type of thing to searches with a bit more commercial intent, and that's where we see the rise of no-click transactional search results. So the very first industry Google targeted with this was the flight industry. So as you can see here, much like the weather example, I'm looking for Dublin to Amsterdam flights because I want to go on the Lash. And Google is giving me all the information that I really need to see from a basic research point of view. So I have the different airlines, I have the prices, I have whether there's a connecting or non-stop. I can toggle different dates, and I can even toggle different destinations. So if you can imagine the amount of clicks that would have been needed previously to get all this information, it's now actually all done through Google without any clicks whatsoever. So having helped users sort out their destination without needing a click, Google kind of logically progressed to helping them find their accommodation. So they rolled this out into the hotel industry. So what you're seeing here is for a search for hotels near Dublin Airport. You can see one of our clients there, Maldron Hotel, Dublin Airport. They slipped me a tenner to mention that, are showing up there. So is this good news or bad news for advertisers? Because we've already seen that this type of thing is causing a decrease in organic traffic proportions. So what we're going to do is we're going to find out what happens when you click into one of these listings to see if this is indeed a threat or an opportunity. So for the search term hotels in Portlaoise, when one of those listings on the previous slide is clicked, this is what we see for one particular hotel. So these are called hotel price ads, and that information is scraped from the various different online travel agents, OTAs, hotels.com, booking.com, Expedia, blah, 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 with the prices and the different options that the user can book their stay in this particular hotel for whichever one they choose. Now, what you'll notice here is that the hotel, this particular hotel, isn't running an ad. So they've lost a proportion of their organic traffic, and the OTAs are now uncontested here. So it is probably damaging that particular hotel. For one of our other Maldron clients, Maldron Hotel Portlaoise, you can see on screen here that they very much are in this ad auction with their hotel price ads. So we are running hotel price ads for them. You can see that they're in top position, and most importantly of all, you can see that the price is considerably cheaper than hotels.com and Expedia.com. So when we looked at the performance for these hotel price ads compared to standard search ads, what we'd actually seen was that the conversion rate was 3 times higher for these hotel price ads than standard search ads. So it very much was an opportunity, and one that the example with Maldron, they are taking advantage of, whereas these guys unfortunately aren't. Now, there's obviously a reason I'm focusing on the travel industry, and that's because that's the industry that Google have focused on. So Google have first rolled this out to flights and then hotels. But we can all be, you can bet your bottom dollar that they will go to more industries, and they'll get further entrenched in travel, and then they'll come to an industry near you. So really what we can see is that, yeah, the organic traffic decrease is a concern, but by embracing innovations such as hotel price ads in this scenario, or whatever innovations come to your industry, that there is opportunities to drive more qualified and better converting traffic to your website. But that's not where the opportunities stop. So one thing we've seen, and to go back to the example of the Google flight search, is that Google Voice Search is actually leveraging the information in this NoClick transactional search result and serving it to users in Google Voice Search. So while you can't actually complete your purchase yet through Google Voice Search, there is scope there for a mini conversion. And I'm actually going to take out my phone and just give you an example of how that works. Oh, hold on, someone matched with me on Tinder. Seriously. Okay, Google, I want to book flights from Dublin to Liverpool.
Upcoming return flights from Dublin to Liverpool start at €28. Did you have any dates in mind?
August 11th to August 13th.
Return flights from Dublin to Liverpool departing on the 11th of August and coming back on the 13th of August start at €49. Should I email you if that price changes?
Yes. So we can see there that there is actually the scope for a micro conversion. So if any of the prices do change here in Ryanair's €48, for example, that I will actually get an email there to tell me that Ryanair have dropped that by €10. So go ahead and make your booking now. So even without clicking to a website and getting all of that cool information. So at the moment, that's what's available in Ireland. But in the US, if you think back to the NoClick transactional search data in the hotel industry, for certain advertisers in the US and for certain users who avail of Google and Android Pay, you can actually complete your transaction for a hotel. So you can book your 2-night stay in Maldron Portlaoise, all through voice search, whatever the equivalent of Maldron Portlaoise is in the USA, I don't know. So while it's not in Ireland, we very much know that it is coming. Transactional voice search is coming. And it is an opportunity, much like we've seen with the NoClick transactional search results, that there is an opportunity there. There is an opportunity here too once we're embracing new innovations such as hotel price ads or whatever innovations that Google do press out to your specific industries. So now, on a similar note on voice search, I'm going to hand you over to our veteran SEOer, Kev. Thanks.